Sai told Moe he had made arrangements, and if it worked, he would be able to leave the country on a commercial flight. But this was extremely dangerous. Moe flew to Thailand to wait for him, and after several tense hours, he received news Sai had made it through.
Okay. Đi con nữa. Sao cho mua rồi. Rồi lý gì mà phụ cái đấy mà. Lý gì mà phải làm chuyện làm gì. I'm looking for my ID. Oh, I see it.
Among his few possessions was his military ID.
It's me. Name Sai Nguyen. Number 30586. Rank. In this ID, I'm still a lieutenant.
And the uniform he was once proud to wear.
This is my uniform. I love my uniform, but I feel shameful to wear that uniform in front of civilians. No honor for me to be a soldier in Burma. Now the
He said the security around this project was extremely tight.
Of course, I'm afraid that they'll catch me before I can slip out from Burma. Of course I do. I'm afraid. They will shut me down on spot.
He had come out hoping his information could somehow stop the regime's plans. But even here, his life was in danger. Myanmar agents are known to operate in Thailand.
This can be used for reverse engineering purpose.
Moved to a safer place, Sai could explain his work in more detail. He said the factory he ran was stocked with expensive high-precision machines. Overall, the regime spent almost $18 million in this factory alone. He said there was another almost identical military factory here at Punuluin. It was also stocked with these high-precision machines, and it's where he spent his last month. This is a laser cutting machine. It can rapidly cut sheet metal. This is a press brake machine. It bends metal. They were made and supplied by the German company Trumpf. This is a universal milling machine. It machines large metal parts with great precision. This is one of the many machines he said had been made and supplied by another German company, Deckel Maho Gildemeister, or DMG. These are the business cards of those who sold and installed the machines.
DMG is a German company which is a supply factory. Deckel Maho Gildemeister.
Sai said DMG sent German engineers to help install them. He said the regime told the German supplier the factories were educational institutions, when in reality, he said, they were for military use.
Those poor Germans didn't know that we are aiming to use those machines in producing rocket parts or some parts for military use.
Suspicious of the factory's isolated locations, German embassy officials inspected the factories at Myang and Punuluin 3 times, in 2007, 2008 and 2009.
At the time, we had to wear the civilian uniform, you know. Though we are soldiers, we have to wear the uniform, civilian uniform. They told that those factories are for the training of students, to train the students how to use the machines, so that they lie, sensibly lie to the German counselors.
DMG said its machines were supplied for education and training purposes only. It says it adhered to the strict terms of the German export control, which declared the end use as being for training, including the small-scale production of power station turbines, trains and cars. It said its testing and inspection trips showed no machine had been used for anything other than training. The machines were only supplied with accessories to allow training and the first steps of producing parts. To its knowledge, it said, the machines were used exclusively for civilian purposes and ruled out any possibility the machines were being used for military purposes. Trump said its machines were ordered for training and education purposes too. It said neither it nor the German Export Control Office found information connecting the purchaser with any sensitive areas such as arms production or WMD. It said it had no information its machines had been used to develop arms or in connection with nuclear production. And its technicians who repaired the machines in 2007 and 8 said there was no indication of any kind of military use. It said it will send technicians to try and find out what's going on. The German and Myanmar foreign ministries failed to answer our questions. Tsai says the Myang site was recently handed over to a civilian wing of the military government, but it still produces parts for its military program. Punuluin is still controlled directly by the military. We showed the pictures of Myang to a former UN weapons inspector.
The machine shop is set up to be a general purpose machine shop, capable of making some parts very big, maybe almost 2.8 meters in diameter and weighing up to 20 tons. So we could make a number of things, including airframe components for large rockets, but not necessarily limited to those.
Using these machines, Tsai made this model of a turbine for a rocket engine, or what's also known as an impeller.
This is a turbine part from the turbofan unit of rocket engines.
This is a prototype. The machines are still missing certain functions that allow a proper finish.
But obviously, we can achieve the finished surface. The surface is very, very rough.
But Tsai says he was ordered to make it as part of the regime's long-term strategic goal.
It means that they are investing in all levels of missile design and engineering.
It's a long-range missiles. It can be long-range missiles, especially for the long-range missiles like Scud.
If that impeller that gentleman is holding was put into a single-stage rocket with only one engine, it could reach maybe 1,000 kilometers, which encompasses more countries than a Scud-type engine in the neighborhood, but it's still a regional threat. If they imagine putting it in the first stage of a much larger rocket, say with a cluster of 4 of those engines, then it could reach 3,500 kilometers, maybe 4,000 kilometers, which opens it up quite a bit. It's not an intercontinental rocket, but it could threaten things like Diego Garcia, which is a major U.S. military base in the Indian Ocean, if it had a 4,000-kilometer range. So assuming that they get all of the machines that they need to make these complex parts of the impeller and other combustion chamber components, they'll need, I would say, between 5 and 10 years to get a rocket built and ready to be launched. So it's a long-term project, but they're starting on the road.
So how did one of the world's poorest nations acquire the beginnings of this expensive missile technology? The main reason is natural gas. The regime's first deal was called Yardena, run by French company Total and Chevron from the US. It pipes gas to Thailand.
ဝန်ကြီးချုပ်တက်ဆင်တက်လာတဲ့အချိန်နောက်ပိုင်းပတ်စံတွေလုံးဝရပြီးတော့မှအမြောက်များရပြီးတော့မှဦးချုပ်ဘူးဤသားကြီးလှုပ်ချင်လို့လှုပ်လို့ရတဲ့အချိန်ခါမျိုးမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
Since 2000, the regime has earned $4.83 billion from Yardna. From 2013, it will earn 6 times that amount, or another $29 billion over the next 30 years, by selling gas to China from a new, much larger field here at Shui. This money is not just used to buy equipment for the weapons program, it's also spent acquiring knowledge. This is Sai in Russia. He was sent here for 5 years to study rocket engines for long-range missiles.
The Russian lecturers teach us how to design and calculate the rocket engines.
He wasn't the only one. These photographs found by DVB in the bunker files show many more Myanmar army officers receiving training in Moscow. Sai says they were sent here to study a range of subjects as part of the military's nuclear program.
Rocket and nuclear.
This training started in 2001 after Russia agreed to sell Myanmar a small nuclear reactor. Russia hasn't delivered that reactor because Myanmar refused to allow inspections by the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA.
nuclear